fam. We're going to Discovery Island. I'll turn you around. Let's see what we got. Ride here at Animal Kingdom. What you want to say?
Hi.
Aggravated by this adventure. Once on board the safari transport, please place seated with your hands.
Folks on that right side, wipe your hands. Arms like to be, the door's gonna slide closed. Asante Sana, that's thank you in Swahili, and around here we say Twende, which means let's go. Welcome everyone, my name is Jordan. I'm going to be your safari guide out in the Harambe Wildlife Reserve today. For your safety, I just asked that everybody please stay seated the entire time, keep it on your hands, arms, legs, and feet inside the truck. If you have phones or cameras on board today and you want to take some pictures, please do. Just make sure you're holding on tight to those phones and cameras, because this will be a very bumpy truck ride. I don't want you losing anything outside the truck today. Raise your hand if this is your first time riding the safari. Any first timers? Awesome, welcome aboard, first timers, and welcome back to everybody else. Above your heads, you'll see that animal wildlife spotting guide. It's going to help you identify the animals we meet out on the reserve today. And for our best luck, I recommend everybody just keep your voices down. Make sure you don't call out to the animals, like make animal noises or whistling sounds, or try and get their attention in any way. The quieter we are, the more animals we'll probably see out, like a zebra. But they're not actually related to zebras at all. Their closest land relative is a giraffe, and we know that because of the shape of skull that they have. They also have a really long tongue like a giraffe. They use it to grab things from above their heads with, and those tongues are so long that they can lick their own eyeballs with them. Rhinos are the smallest species of rhino, getting about 3,000 pounds. They're over on our left shoulder here. They're a very solitary species, so they'll hang out by themselves, which is why you don't see any other rhinos in this area. Rhinos are crepuscular, so that's a term that means active at sunrise and sunset. And they have the white stripes on their back. It helps them to camouflage with the rays of sunlight in the forest. Another species of antelope. Over on our left side up on the hill, there's some bongos. Bongos have those white stripes as well. They also have horns on top of their head to help them walk through the thick brush of the forest. Bongos like to lick the salt off things, so if you see them licking the trees and the bamboo, because they want to get a little extra salt. But we'll head out of the Ituri Forest now and make our way down towards the Safi River, which is a watering hole. There's some more aquatic animals like the Nile hippopotamus. And hippos can hold their breath for just about 8 minutes. They tend to spend the majority of their day in the water to keep their skin nice and cool and protected from the sun. So look for things like bubbles or shadows in the waterway. It looks like there might be one just over our right side here as we're coming down this hill. There are two of them. Hippos will get about 6,000 pounds. They eat lots of fruits and veggies because they are herbivores. They'll eat about 100 to 200 pounds a day. Lots of fruits and veggies will come out of the water to graze the grass, and a group of them is called a float of hippos. Let's see if we can see any on our left side now. Hippos don't have a whole lot of body fat, so they don't float all that well at the surface of the water. What they do instead is sink down to the bottom and walk along the floor. Looks like there's one just over our left side. You can barely make them out. We're going down into the water now. Now they have a couple. And they might open them up during the day to help them stay cool. So when they do that, it's called gaping. Very similar to a dog or a cat panting. They'll keep their mouth nice and wide open. So when the crocodiles have eggs or babies, they'll put them inside their mouth to keep them protected from predators in the area. So if they hold all the eggs in their mouth, stop them up, get them ready to hatch out. this time we're making our way towards the savannah, which is a much more open habitat. You can see the clearing out on our left side. And over on our right, there's a Bay of Osprey. They've got really big trucks. They can store about 20,000 gallons of water inside those trucks. The branches are pretty thin, like the roots of a tree, so they get the nickname the upside down tree. But they're pretty useful for animals because if there's ever a drought or a period of time without water out on the savannah, the animals with tusks and horns can use the water inside that trunk. As we slowly make our way down to the savannah, you can see there's a couple of animals wandering about. Looks like some Ankole cattle just over our right side as we're heading down this hill. Now the Ankole cattle have these really long horns that are not solid on the inside. They've got a honeycomb structure to keep them nice and lightweight, but they're looking about 4 feet from tip to tip. And they use their horns to help regulate their body temperature. So they'll circulate the blood throughout their horns to cool down or to warm them back up. Also some wildebeest in the center there. Wildebeest are the gray animals with the dark gray stripes on them. They've got one of the largest migrations in the world. They'll travel about 500 to 1,000 miles every single year in a herd of about 1 million at a time. And the dark gray stripes on their neck help them to camouflage with other members of the group to confuse predators. Also helps us identify who is who in that herd of wildebeest. On our left side, just beyond the cave, there are some painted dogs. And painted dogs are one of the most successful predators in the world. They've got a 90% success rate, which is more than a cheetah or a lion. They're pretty social animals, so they'll hunt in groups together. On our left side, there is a giraffe over there, probably more close by. A group of giraffes is called a tower because they tower over everything, and they're the tallest land animal in the world. So they'll get about 18 to 20 feet tall. Like okapis, they've got that really long tongue. Their tongue will reach about 18 inches long. It's a purple blue in color that protects it from sunburn. And they use their tongue to grab the leaves off of trees, to rip the bark off of trees as well. Now, giraffes spend the majority of their days standing up. They only really sit or lie down if they feel really safe and protected in their habitat. So it's actually quite rare to see a giraffe completely settle over on our right side. And on our left, there are some zebras. Our group of zebras is called a dazzle of zebras. They're visible on our right side. You can tell if the zebras are black with white stripes or white with black. Take a look at their noses. Those zebras have black noses, so that means that they are black with white stripes. But there is a different species out on the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail that have white noses. So they're different. Every single zebra will have its own unique stripe pattern, just like a thumbprint. Close by to the zebras are some springbok. They are the small species of antelope. And they've got tan backs and white underbellies. They can jump about 6 feet up into the air and 13 feet forward. Looks like we found the rest of the tower of giraffes over here, and there are a few of them using their tongues to grab the leaves, so take a close look. As we come by, they're on our left side. Giraffes and Ankole cattle are ruminants, and that means that they don't have one stomach like humans do. They've got the 4 stomachs to help them digest all their food. They also have the same amount of vertebrae as humans do, so the bones in their neck and back, they got 7 of them, and we also have 7 vertebrae. Theirs are just a lot longer than humans. Now look closely at that mantle because they do have a tiny little tail. Their tail is only a couple inches long, but the main difference between monkeys and apes is that monkeys have tails and apes do not. So the mantles do have a tail, only a couple inches long. If you see any animals in the park later today that do not have a tail at all but look a little bit like monkeys, they're probably a species of ape. And another view of that elephant on our right side now. When it's hot like today, the elephants will use their large ears to cool their bodies off so they can lower their body temperatures about 15 degrees Fahrenheit when they do that. They're from the low with 2 muscles. And the other side will help them pick up smaller items on the ground. They act like little fingers. Make sure that hand is inside the truck, please. Thank you. Most African elephants are born with tusks, and the tusks of an animal are actually actually just 2 enlarged teeth, so on an elephant it's their 8. Now some elephants are naturally born without their tusks. They carry a tuskless gene. That's kind of like how some people are born with blue eyes. Some elephants inherit that tuskless gene down from their parents, and they're the ones with the greatest survival rates. So they are the ones that survive the most from poaching. They're kind of naturally protecting themselves because without their tusks, there is no reason to hurt the elephants. So elephants have started to evolve completely tuskless just because that tuskless gene is helping to save elephants overall. See, they are on our left side now. Also on our left side, some greater flamingos. The term greater means larger. These are the largest species of flamingo. They'll get about 5 feet tall and 9 pounds. And you can spot the young ones in the group because they're still white with the gray feathers, so they'll slowly turn pink over time because of what they eat, things like shrimp and crustaceans in the water. They're going to be on our right shoulder. White rhinos get a little bit bigger than the black rhino we saw earlier at about 5,000 pounds. And there's a 1-year-old, that's the smallest one you see. Make sure you're nice and quiet, friends. We do like nice and quiet. So the youngest one you see, the smallest one, that one's just about a year old. And then the second biggest one is just about 2 years old. That one has a little nub for a horn. A rhino's horn is a little bit different than an elephant's tusk because their horns are made out of keratin. That's what's in our hair and fingernails. And a rhino's horn can grow back. So they have keratin in them, just like our fingernails. They can grow back. It'll take a couple of months. But to help rhinos out in the wild, a lot of forest rangers will shave their horns down. That protects them from poachers because if they don't have the horn, they're less threatened by the poachers. So it'll grow back after a couple of months. That's a natural way to protect them. On our left side, there's some warthogs. Warthogs are the largest burrowing animals. They've got tusks just like an elephant. They've got 4 of them, so you can take a look. There's 2 on top of their nose and 2 below. And another look at that crash of rhinos on our right side. So the one all the way off to the far right is just about a year old. And then the 2-year-old is mixed into the middle there, though. He's just about the size of the adults now, so he's a little bit harder to tell out from the rest of them. You might have also seen some ostriches around. They are the largest birds in the world. And another view of those warthogs on our left. Ostriches produce the largest eggs out of any bird species. There's some, I'm going to just go back and forth. Well, they lose bits of fun little train right here. But our time here is just about wrapping up. Lively Wilderness Explorers on board. You've been riding Simba 1 Max SIMBA and the number 1. You can get your safari badge on page 15. Head out of the safari today down the path and look for the person with the orange bag. We'll get you that safari badge. If you want to spot more animals in Animal Kingdom, right outside the safari is the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail, and there you'll find gorillas. There's an underwater viewing area for hippos over there, naked mole rats, and meerkats. And that trail will close at 4:45 p.m. today along with the safari. So if you do want to come back, and I do recommend coming back to the safari because you never know what animals are going to be out there. So we'll close at 4:45 p.m. today. Just keep that in mind. We're going to wait for the truck ahead of us to unload their goods. Make sure you haven't forgotten personal belongings on your feet, nothing's falling out of your bag or anything like that. Looks like you've got that all clear, so I can send you on your way. To say goodbye and to say goodbye in Swahili is Kwaherini. So Kwaherini, everyone, thank you all for joining me out there on the reserve. I hope you learned some facts about the animals that you can share with your friends at home. But otherwise than that, I hope you all have a wild rest of your day out here in Disney's Animal Kingdom. My name is Jordan. It's been a pleasure having you on board. If you do have any questions, feel free to let me know at the front of our truck. On your right side, watch your hands, arms, legs, and feet. The doors are going to slide open. Kwaherini, everyone.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
How'd you like that? It's pretty good.
Yeah. Worth the wait.
Yeah, it was worth the wait. I will wait. At least. Yeah.
site worth protecting. We have so many different species of birds coming out. We have a couple of blue-throated macaws right up there with